This is a NT530 Foxes scanner that I just updated. We are in December 2022. I want to show you the cars, but also I go into the functions of some vehicles. And you'll see we have hybrid cars, but also fuel cell cars from Hyundai. So it also has Volvo, but I'm looking at Hyundai right now. And it has, like I was saying, hydrogen cars. So we'll just see generally the functions on those cars. It's not connected to a car right now, it's just my computer power up. So let's just go. I want to mention that this scanner, being the 530 NT, is going to have most functions. And by the way, you also have Kia cars, but I'm just spending time for Hyundai at this point. I was saying that this scanner has all the functions that Foxwell will show you, because it is a scanner that usually keeps only one car brand, all the models for that brand, but just one brand at the time. So if you want to add another brand, you pay $60 US, and also you need to have PayPal, only way to pay that. But there's also other scanners that I'll put in the comment section, so check for the first comment at the top of comment section, that those Foxwell scanners will have all cars and models on the market for just slightly more money. But those scanner options that have all car brands will not have all the more, if you want, detailed options like transmission settings and stuff like that. So it's yeah, just maybe entering a few models, maybe hybrids. I think people perhaps are curious what's in there. Again, being not connected to a car right now, it just gives you this motor. It's the electric motor, battery management, so it gives you really just the main functions without showing the detail for those functions. And by the way, when you want to scroll down more cars at once, because just one by one it's really long, you press, if you want to scroll downwards, you press the down arrow and the right arrow. It's going to jump an entire page just like this. If you want to go upwards, you press you press up arrow and then left arrow. So you keep up arrow pressed and then hit the left one, or you keep low arrow pressed and hit the right one. That's how it gives you Azera. I'm not sure where was this. This is North America, I guess. Azera. These are basically for a gasoline car. These are the functions that you will find. Not sure what the Smart K is. Not for programming, it's something else. Transmitter code, smart. Maybe you can program okay with this, but don't count on that. Maybe you may want to just give it a try if you have already this thing. Immobilizer. So it does, being, like I said, is the complete scanner for Foxwell. If you go for a scanner that has all the cars, then you are not going to have all those functions, perhaps those K, whatever. Let's just go a little bit faster. I want to show you hybrid and fuel EQS. This one higher end model for Hyundai, more expensive. You see the engine is 5 liter, but again, this one not being just regular gasoline, is going to have all the same functions as you should see. Let's see, maybe a model that's more recent and also upper trim, G90. I think it's a pretty equipped car, which perhaps is in almost luxurious segment, right? This is going to be the bigger model with the bigger engine. So we see all the functions. Some are obviously basic, but you will notice there are Let's just scroll. Electronic stub. No, this is ordinary. E-shifter. Just scroll down faster. So E-shifter, electronic control suspension, forward drive, adaptive, this lighting, automatic leveling, you'll see central gateway. I don't know what these are, but it definitely looks more extra functions if you want. You'll see in a moment there are other things here. Multi-camera view, perhaps surrounding camera, multifunction switch, maybe like this is a control central console switch something. This is a good question what that means, but you can tell there is more, obviously more technology definitely. And that goes back to engine. Let's try to find a hybrid thing. And sometimes I just did update the scanner and it put the new model. So the updates with Foxwell are free for lifetime. Be sure you keep the original SD card, the original one. If you want to make a copy of that, that's fine, but when you update you must use the original one, and never format it, because it has hidden files that are used for updates. So if you copy that card, you cannot use the copy card to update your scanner. That's why the original one is important. It looks like this one, it's a maybe a hybrid. Could that be a hybrid? Oh, there's not much in there. I was saying that I just did update the scanner, and the new cars actually were not, I think it was like an Elantra hybrid, but it wasn't the E letter, actually was at the very end of the list. So maybe when you update the scanner and it happens to give you new models that are just new models for that year, they may not, it may not put them in alphabetical order, those new models. It may put them at the end of the list. So always scroll all the way down to the end of the list. And by the way, you can just scroll up to the first car and move upwards, is going to jump at the end of the list. Let's see, Grandeur hybrid 20. So I'm in December 2022 and I can find models that go up to 2021. I do not yet have models for, this is hybrid whatever system functions, so I don't have at this point 2022 models. I actually was looking to find the Tucson hybrid. We have 2022 Tucson hybrid that was started to sell from around July this 2022 year, but it's not already on Foxwell. So this one is going to be doors, so windows, stuff like that. So you need to keep checking for the free updates, but it's not going to necessarily blind spot. It's important. Those radars, when you hit your car, the bumper, someone is bumping you in a parking lot, it's moving, there has radars in the rear, behind the rear bumper cover, and those radars are moving into their brackets, and they get misaligned, and Hyundai tells you need to replace the radar. It's about $1,000 each, one on each corner. My apologies, my computer went to sleep and I lost power on the scanner. So I was saying that with those rear radar sensor, It's the modules that tell you there's a car nearby, so don't switch line stuff. With those sensor, sometimes they move slightly in the bracket, and you just need to reach with maybe with your hand by underneath the bumper somehow, and try to just kind of move a little bit the bracket for the sensor and then realign the sensor. So I do have a video about this, but if you don't know, electric parking brake, it's important really if you are changing your rear brakes alone by yourself. So I was saying about the radar sensor that if you don't know, they just simply get slightly misaligned. Someone is bumping in your car, or maybe you just jump a pothole, a big pothole, and Hyundai wants to replace them, and Hyundai is going to say that they cannot calibrate them, so it's broken. But the truth is that they just shifted slightly in the bracket, or the bracket itself maybe, but usually in the bracket. So you just need to make sure they are really aligned to the millimeter. They align with each other, and with another module in the car it's just pure geometry, but it has to be really aligned. You also see the Ioniq rechargeable one, not the hybrid. This is fully electric, a nice car with a lot of legroom in the front. For if you are 6-7 foot tall person, this is the car for you. It's exceptional. It has exceptional legroom at the pedals. I myself, I'm 6 feet tall. I moved the seat, front driver's seat, all the way back, and I couldn't reach the pedal. If you can imagine that. And it's not a big car, it's just that it doesn't have the gasoline engine in front, so the pedals could be put much farther away from your body. Yeah. So yeah, I was saying about the radar modules that you don't have to replace them, just make sure they can be aligned. Hydraulic booster, I have no idea what this is. Just make sure they are aligned, and then run a calibration. And you can run probably with these functions, you can run calibration to calibrate the radar sensors once you make sure they are at the correct position. It can be just by the touch, just touching them. That's how I fixed the one of mine. I just really pushed a little bit on it and then recalibrated, and it works perfect ever since. Didn't change anything. But Hyundai wanted to replace them, but it looks like I could save kind of 1,000, at least 1,000 Canadian. If you have a Zira, higher end Hyundai cars, fancy cars, then the sensor is crazy, insanely expensive. I'm not sure it's different than my car is a Sonata, was cheaper, but be careful if you don't need all these crazy automatic things. My suggestion is try not to get such equipment if you are buying a new or second-hand car. Those extra sensor, whatever, you have front camera into the front bumper. If you hit a car in front of you, the camera goes bad, you need to replace it, your insurance will go up. And by the way, the insurance of cars are going up because you can tell those fancy bumper covers, rear ones also with a park sensor, but especially the front bumper covers that got so fancy. Look at the Lexus cars. It's no longer a bumper cover. That's just aesthetical. It doesn't protect. It breaks at the slightest impact. So that's why my apologies for my throat. That's why the insurance car insurance prices are just exploding, and we are all paying for that technology, fragile technology. Okay, let's try to keep going on, and I'm going to hold the next at a fuel cell car, which I've never seen in my person. I do have a video for Kona Electric, a separate video. Check my playlist with my Hyundai playlist. Yes, I didn't know there is a Kona hybrid, a very nice car. I like the car. Downside, the cloth seats are bad, not good seats. Well, not terrible, but it's not a seat that will call comfortable in any way. Ported electric, what is that? So go for leather for Kona if you can. The upper trim, I believe. There were fuel cell cars. I couldn't see right now. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Sonata. Okay, no plug-in hybrid. I'm curious. Is that? Oh, it's already. You see the air. Sometimes you don't even expect that. I didn't know there's a plug-in hybrid. Sometimes these cars are just for a specific country, specific market, if you want. So we don't see them necessarily all around our place. Would that be the last generation? So you can tell it's up to 2021. Yeah, it's pretty much the same functions as the rest. Heads up display. What's with immobilizer thing? I'm curious if it shows any extra sub functions. No, because you need to plug it into a real car at that point to see the extra sub functions. But I was saying for more 2022 models, it seems the scanner is not yet to date. And by the way, I also have videos showing how to update these scanners. It's really simple. Mexico, what? For Mexico, what do they have different there? It's really easy to update the scanners, but it's okay. So this is a fuel cell, but I don't know what this one is. Let's try it. Oh, 2013. Wow. Whatever. So maybe it's a hybrid, but it looks like four-wheel driving control. That's another thing that I didn't show till now. Okay, so the scanner got blocked, whatever. I could not go into the sub-function, sub-menu, and I got just stuck in there. So it's an example of hydrogen car. You may just figure out what these menus may do for your car if you have a hydrogen car at this point, and the rest I will guess. Blower pump control, what is that? Fuel cell system. This is the hydrogen car part of the car. Fuel processing driver. Well, it looks like a hydrogen car has quite a few modules, so you better wish. Stuck volt. You better wish it doesn't cause problems, right? So this was the last tire pressure monitoring system. You better wish it works fine. You don't have to spend money out of warranty, I guess, with such car. Let's just scroll down to the last model so you can see them. Hybrid. I have no clue that Hyundai had so many hybrid models. Obviously, some models are just having another name. This appears to be the last update that I got, 2021. As you can tell, it's at the end of the list. That's what is perhaps important. So when you update, you look always at the end of the list. For some reason, it's just another glitch. It's a Chinese company. Chinese doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but you can expect bad things from the way they do things. But I'm not blaming Chinese. I cannot go into four-wheel drive, so I can tell you. I know Chinese companies do a lot of good things. It's not like it was in the 80s. In the 80s, yes, it was poor quality, but Chinese do have those suspended trains, maglev. They have a lot of advanced technology, but they also have a lot of companies, and it happens that some of the companies don't produce items of quality, basically. So again, notice the Santa Fe is like at the end of the alphabet for some reason. These are the, I did an update just today basically, and these are the last models added to the scanner, and for some reason it puts them at the very end of the list. For some reason. Elantra hybrid. I think I went to Santa Fe, so that was the 4 added models as of, let's say, December 2022, and these are not 2022 models. It's just up to 2021. That's it. That's my video. It's pretty long. Sorry about that, but it gives you an idea what to expect from this. If you want, this is the not the most expensive Foxwell scanners. You have other scanners that have bigger screens, you know, more upscale, but on the less expensive one, this is the most complete one. But the downside is that it carries, when you purchase it, only 1 car brand. If you want, you can add more car brands, but each one will cost you $60 US, and I do have a video in the Foxwell playlist how to add more cars, how to update these scanners, and also how to install them, how to do the initial setup of the scanner, which is difficult. I warn you, it's confusing. At least it was when I first did that video. So be aware that you need to be one of those patient persons that are willing to try several times to get it started. Okay, be aware with that, about this brand of scanners. Thanks for watching.